and the sun rose. A tiny sun rose from the stones. Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild and the Kind Court. Today we are going to pick up with the Demon's Child story and continue where we left off. In the last episode, the Demon's Child had witnessed the Kind for the first time, and then afterwards learned to see with his eyes open. And by that, I mean seeing the movement of energy around him and the pattern of different objects and the energy patterns within them, but also to see the twists and threads of fate as they manifest into the present. And as he's learning this, as he's discovering this movement of energies, he learns how to pull the bark up onto himself and assume the patterns of other things. And that's where our story begins today. He had been overcome that day with the response of fear that came from the Kind and the sadness that came from that, and then the sudden rush of strange visions, this movement of energy, this ability to pull bark onto himself. And he just pulled himself up into the tree. And as he did this, he became more than just bark. He began to enter into that tree by the side of the lake there. As I said in previous episodes, even though all of his memory had been stripped away, there is still something about the nature of one's perspective that remains the same, even from one life into the next. And so he began entering into the tree and feeling the world from inside of it. And perhaps this stirred some memory in him, because it made him begin to feel whole. But this tree was not his tree. It was not him. And so there was something in the tree that would not let him fully enter the tree. Whoever, of course, was in the tree at that time, existing in it, if you can't just take possession of a tree if there's already a soul inside of it. And so he joins with the tree for a moment, and it allows him to feel in it. And he feels those patterns again, threads tracing out from the tree and through the ground, touching small movements, small lives, mycelium. And through the mycelium he could connect to another tree, and through that he could feel himself expanding from one tree to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And he felt things, information, learning coming from each tree when each moved from one to the next. And he could feel those energy patterns and trace them. And through this, he could feel where the others were, where the other kind were, where the wolf pack he had once known, where they were. He could feel the whole valley and further if he wanted. Then he focused in, returned to his tree, and then slowly, purposely reached through the roots with more than his eyes, with more than his senses, but began to actually seep and slide, and crawl down the root, through the root, translated by the mycelium, and coming up into the next tree. And then he stepped out, and he had moved. He had gone from one tree to the next. And then he stepped back into the tree, crawled up into its branches, and once again melded in. And he laid there for a long time, letting himself dance from one tree to the next in his dreams. But sadness still plagued him. The trees gave him solace of some kind. They were not the answer. He could not just be a tree. He could rest. He could hide. He could travel. But he was not a tree. Not anymore. Part of him felt the need to be more, to go forth. And so, through the trees, he felt his way to the kind, and over days he learned them and watched their movements until he saw that another group was leaving from the main village and going out, and he watched them from the trees as they moved, walking along the path. They walked for an entire day, and then they began building their camp. He watched from the trees as they built tents, taking sticks, putting them together, twisting them around, and putting the skin of an animal all around the sticks to make a place that they would go inside, that they could go inside to hide. And he understood all of this as he watched them. He saw the patterns and what they intended. And then the sun began to come down, and the place grew dark. And as this happened, there was a circle of stones in the center. As he watched, one of the kind walked up to the circle of stones and began placing sticks inside of the circle, shaping them in a fashion very similar to the sticks which they had used to make their tents, in its formation like so. Sticks on top of each other, and another one on top, creating a small teepee-like structure. Placing leaves and little bits of fuzz underneath. And as he watched, the kind took his hands again and picked up 2 more sticks and began rubbing them up and down onto a piece of wood, where he then rubbed another stick in a circle over and over again. And then something he had never seen before happened. Smoke, white vapor began rising from the wood, and the man blew on it, pushed it into a little bit of fuzz and blew on it more. And a light began emanating from the thing he was blowing on, and the man pushed the light into the little pile of sticks he had made within the circle of stones. And the sun rose. A tiny sun rose from the stones. He had never seen anything like this before. These people with hands like his, they had used those hands to bring the sun swore he would learn to summon the sun, much like the people with hands. Okay, so that's going to be it for this episode. There is a bit of a lesson in this episode if you pay attention to the story as it was told, but I'm not going to continue on with any kind of particular lesson in this story. Next episode, we are going to discuss him learning to make fire, and we will also be discussing a concept that I have talked about on the channel before in the Sorcery Self-Defense playlist, and that is summoning belly fire. We will be talking about that next week, and very soon we are going to start going live on Saturdays with a Sorcery Self-Defense training exercises that will be including the belly fire. So, I will be posting about that more this week in preparation. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you once again for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity to do so now. All of this particular line of stories will all be in a playlist. So if you haven't come across this yet, there is a playlist in the description portion of the post and in the link up here that will get you to the beginning of this story. Okay, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tao.